Hey everyone, my name's Elise, welcome back to another video. Today, another episode of Dono Review, the series where people in my chat donate for me to play a deck of their choice in remote duel locals. And today, we played Striker Eldlich, thanks to our lovely viewer, Vaf. I don't think he's here right now, but yeah, he donated for me to play this deck today, and it's actually a deck I'm surprised I haven't played sooner, because, like, a lot of people were always talking about it on my stream, and, like, wanted me to take a look at it more and like play it, but no one ever donated for it until now. But now we get to play the Striker Eldlich deck, and I think it's arguably a better format for this deck than it was last format. So I think this deck is like honestly kind of nice. Like, well, it's okay. It gets clunky because you'd think this deck plays like Draco Striker, but like the Eldlich cards are just much more clunky than the True Draco cards, unfortunately. But like there's some cool interactions, plus you also don't have engage again, so that doesn't help, but like there's still some cool stuff this deck can do, and it like has a grind engine plus a grind engine, and it like promotes inherent consistency in itself. So I don't know, I think the deck is not bad. I think like it's actually got some tier 2 potential. Like I don't think it goes much higher than that, but I don't know. We went 4-1 in locals today. Our only loss was to Infernoble, but the reason why we lost to Infernoble was he had Judgment in games 2 and 3 on my normal summon Ray, which actually like cost me the game. It was crazy. Like, my lord, imagine that's the thing that stops me from playing. And it was, otherwise I literally had control of both games, but it's what happens. That's Yu-Gi-Oh, you know? But otherwise my other matchups were, I think I played against 2 Zoo Eldlich decks. I played against Prank Kids, and then I played against a stun deck, like just trap cards, summon Jowgen and shit, pass, like yikers. But yeah, overall the deck performed pretty decently, so can't complain too much. But before we go into my list, let's look at the list that was given to me. So this is the list that Vaf sent in to kind of like have a baseline starting point and then go from there. So the main things I'm looking at for the list is just try to cut out Clunk and see if there's better cards we can play in the main deck. And one card I really like this format and back row decks in general is Ice Dragon's Prison, which he doesn't have in his list. So that's one of the first things I wanted to correct that I didn't like about it. I really don't like Rose in this deck because it doesn't function as well, because like when you have multiple engines, Rose gets worse and worse, so it just ends up being better not playing it at all in favor of playing other cards in general. And then like Eagle Booster just isn't really necessary. I think it's better in Pure Striker, but with how much conflictions you can potentially have, you want more cards that can be generic and better. So I think that card was like easily cuttable. The only other thing was like the goods package with Metal Flow Fusion. I actually kind of wanted to play it because of interaction with Golden Lord, but it ended up just not being worth the space. Other cards are just more important, and I think like it's something to consider. But also like the thing is, goods isn't as good anymore in this current format because like Cycle Reader and the trap card Mischief of the Gnomes aren't as good anymore, so you can't justify as well putting in the goods. And I don't think like you have enough ways to get your golden lands in the graveyard to where you don't need to foolish them, honestly. Otherwise, I think Droplet need to be at 3 in this list. I think Droplet's nice right now, especially when you're playing a Striker deck. I don't think you need to main MST. I think you can just side enough back row removal, plus you have like Conquistador in your main deck, so like you should be able to like grind against back row decks well enough anyways, with 2 decks that grind really well against back row, and also maxing out Strike. As far as the extra deck, I just want to max out the Hayate again, because he's playing the a lot of people like to play the Zeus to go into, or like when you like Widow Anchor take their thing. I just don't think it's that relevant and doesn't happen that much, because like realistically you're not playing against that much Zoo. I'd rather it just be an extra deck slot that has more relevancy to it. And like the Volcasaurus, I would have played Pleiades instead, but I just ended up not playing any rank 5 just so I could have more Link utility. I kind of wish I could play the Link Spider. That was probably a thing that should have been in my list, but wasn't. And I'll kind of explain when I get to my list itself why I played certain cards. And the extra deck, there's a lot of things that were decent about it. Like, I didn't like putting too many hand traps in the extra deck. I don't think this is a deck that really needs that many hand traps. So I really liked Evenly, I really like Cosmic, and I really like Judgment, so I want to make sure those are maxed out. Torrential, just because of like the Shadal decks, I didn't think was going to be super impactful. I think Torrential might have honestly been a card it should have kept in the list in some way, shape, or form, but I opted out of it, and I don't know how I feel, but we'll, yeah, I think that's kind of it. It's not like there's too much, but yeah. We'll just get into my list though, and I'll show you guys what I decided to play. So for the monsters, we just played 3 Ray and 2 Golden Lord. So like I said, I didn't play any hand traps in the main deck. I was considering Imperm, but the way I thought about it is because, like, if you look at the combo decks right now, like, Dragon Link doesn't really, like, do anything to, like, set 5 past if you're doing that, and, like, just a lot of the combo decks, you don't care about what they do, so you can just end up, like, going really low and slow and just, like, kind of grinding through their board slowly, and you don't need hand traps to do that. You just have more impactful trap cards or more impactful spell cards that just do more that, you know, because you don't need to play, like, super fast, super quick. So, these cards are all we need, and yeah. And then played 3 Cursed Eldland. It's the only Eldlich spell we play. And then we got 3 Widow Anchor, 2 Shark Cannon, 2 Area Zero, 1 Multi-Roll, 1 Hornet Drone, and 1 Afterburner. So, as far as ratios on these, obviously Widow Anchor is most important. Shark Cannon was able to be cut to 2 because we have Hakero in the deck, and then we also have, like I said, Ice Dragon's Prison. So having a spell card that's harder to activate while playing Eldlich cards maxed out didn't seem that, like, great to me, so I decided to cut this down to 2, and I figured it'd be fine. And then, as usual, with most striker decks, there's nothing else I'd really play, and kind of the same logic for only playing 1 Afterburner, especially with Conquistador. You don't need this spot removal as much, and again, you want to have a decent engine, but you don't want to have too many cards that, like, make things overly clunky if you don't have to. So I think this is a good ratio for everything. So next for spell cards, play 3 Droplet. I think just Droplet and Striker is really good. I wish I could have also played Talents in the main deck as well, but I value the trap cards more because I thought about it in the aspect of being a super slow deck where Talents isn't that good in those instances. So it just ended up where I didn't want to main it, and the side deck was the only place, and I'll explain where I wanted it in the side deck if I were to play it, but it just ended up not being as vital, unfortunately. And then the spell cards, Cardomize, Rhoda, Terraforming, Call by the Grave, and Upstart. And this is another reason why I cut down the, whatchamacallit to 2, the, Shark Cannon. Call by the Grave I just felt like was, like, a nice, because I think this is my 40th card. It just felt like another good spell card that just, you know, did a bunch of stuff and functioned with, like, trap deck functionality, plus, like, if they do actually hand trap you, it's nice to have it, and there's a bunch of cards that, like, is good to call by right now, so I think it has enough function where if you have the space for it in a slower deck, you can still play it, and I think I had the space for it, so I decided to play it. And then, a lot of people are kind of ripping on me for Demise, but, like, Demise was clean today. Like, the one copy is, like, weird, but it ends up being actually really good, typically in the long run, and I think this card is really worth playing in the deck. Into the Void is also another consideration, but I think with how easily you just go set 5, or set 4 and then activate Demise, it's really nice to have, honestly. So, yeah, I liked it. And then for the trap cards, play 3 Elixir, 3 Conquistador, 2 Hakero. I kind of want to play this at 3, but it's the same logic of us playing the Ice Dragon Prison and the Call by the Grave. And also the set 2 is very standard Eldlich decks, and other cards just felt more impactful, and I mean, this is my least used Golden Land. I used it more to, like, put damage on board or, like, link fodder than I actually used it for its, like, banish effect. So that's it for the Golden Lands, and then the rest of the traps is Ice Dragon's Prison and Solemn Strike. I just like Solemn Strike whenever I can play trap decks. I think Strike is, like, so insane right now. It definitely won me a lot of games, and Ice Dragon's Prison, I just think this card's insane in this format right now. If you play a slower deck and can afford to play this card, I think it's absolutely nuts to play. I think you need to fit this in if you're available to. Thoughts on Torrential in the main? I think it can have a place, but, like, I felt like every other card was way more impactful, so I don't know if I could justify it in the main. And, like, it's good going second, but I think decks have a lot easier time of playing through Torrential than they used to, so I'm a little bit iffier on Torrential right now. They struggle more playing against this card than they do Torrential a lot of the time, because like Dragon Link, a lot of the time you can just Torrential them, but then they still have other plays, and then Shadalls it's not that good against. Like, it's okay, but it's not amazing, and you can usually just like, your cards can inherently, with the 2 engines combined, can like grind through that, and then Dogma Invoked, I don't care. I should be winning that. So yeah, it's just every other card I picked in the main deck was just turning out to be more impactful, so I couldn't justify it, but I think it's... Fucking Christ, I think it's fine though. Imagine how much money I just almost fucking destroyed there. My lord! Anyways, we'll get to the extra deck now. So, 3 Kagari, 3 Shizuku, 3 Hayate, 1 Kaina, 1 Zeke. This is very standard. I think, honestly, this Hayate could have been cut to 2. Because you have the mixed engines, you don't have to rely on these, like, as heavily as you always used to. So I think cutting this to 2 and fitting in a Link Spider is what I would do if I played the deck going forward. I ended up not always going through my links every time. So, having the utility of every link isn't as important as it normally is if you're playing a pure striker deck. So like, I think this can easily be cut to 2, but otherwise like the other ratios are fine. So yeah. And then I also really like Kaina because if zoo decks exist, Kaina's fucking amazing. And then we got 1 Phoenix, 1 Ningirsu, 1 BLS Link, and Access Code. So I like Ningirsu over like Unicorn, for example, because it has more utility for like clearing stuff, because like it also really helps you clear your board to like make additional striker plays, and then also clearing Dragoon is really important. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted Phoenix. I wanted a generic link that made it really easy to go into Ningirsu. So I thought like this package was really good and was worth keeping in the deck list. BLS because you're playing an Eldlich deck and you have room, and Access Code, yeah. It's kind of insane with like how much better you can put damage on board and like, you know, put pressure on the board, so that's really nice. And the side deck, played 3 Ash and Pankratops as the monsters in my side deck. Pank I just really like when I'm playing like against any back row deck. Like this is good, and it's just good for grinding. Ash, so this slot was either going to be this, Triple Tactics, Torrential, or Imperm. And the reason why I landed on Ash is because the main reason why is Shadal. So because you're playing a striker deck, there's a lot of instances where like you just leave a striker link on board and they Shadal fusion, and you just stop it. And Ash is just good generic all around, so it felt like the safest choice to immediately go with. I didn't see a situation where I was normally going to side in tactics, so I didn't think it was going to be as vital. Imperm was okay, but Ash just felt like the better choice. And like I said, Torrential just felt weird. I wanted like something else that like also I could side in just in case I needed like, or I played against like a really good combo deck where I just needed a little extra stop that like just setting 5 wasn't always going to happen. So yeah. So that's it for these. And then for the other spell card, or for the spell cards, 3 Cosmic, 1 Duster, 1 Jamming Waves. I think you can fit the 1 Jamming Waves on the side. It's fine. I never actually saw this though, so I can't really say if it was good or not. Cosmic, because you're playing a grindy deck, and also like Cosmic's kind of nice right now. And like the Duster is fine because once you like clear their board, you can like really easily control the game state if you're playing against Eldlich. But just, you know, blowing out back row decks is pretty nice. So yeah. And then for the trap cards, we got 3 Evenly and 3 Judgment. 3 Judgment just because I want to make sure going first I could handle a back removal. And if I played against grindy decks, this is actually fine putting in going second. And Evenly, I really like in slow decks like this. And like, you know, I think it's good against like every big deck right now. And a lot of decks can't like prep as easily to like play around this card. So I think this card is really nice. I really like Evenly in this deck. So yeah, that is going to be it for the deck list. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I like this deck a little bit more than I thought, but at the end of the day, it still had this clunkiness factor to it that I don't know if it would, like, make me want to play this more than Pure Striker, but the ceiling that it had comparatively, I think makes it definitely something that's worth considering and worth liking more than Pure Striker. So, I don't know. It's weird to say, and I'm not going to be playing this deck that much more unless chat really wants me to play it, but otherwise, yeah, that is going to be it for the video. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. And if you enjoyed what you saw, make sure to check out the Twitch channel in the description below. We do this every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday, live on Twitch. You get to see me play the games, get to see me talk about the deck a lot more in depth when we're actually playing the locals. And yeah, I have a lot of fun on the Twitch stream, and I really appreciate if you guys checked it out. Make sure you check out all the sponsors. TGG Gaming, they have a new website. Use code Elysium10 for 10% off. Helping them out helps out the channel, because we get to do more cool stuff for the channel. So I'd really appreciate if you guys check out TGG. Then check out YGO Daily as well. Use code MWG5 for 5% off your entire purchase there. And then check out my team, Midwest Gaming. All the links for everyone will be down in the description. Make sure you also use my TCG affiliate link for cards you'd already be spending money on. It would really help me out a lot. And then also, make sure you guys check out my Discord server and my other socials. I'm trying to grow my Discord server a lot, and I really want that to be a nice, fun community, so make sure you check out that link down below in the description. But otherwise, yeah, I think that's going to be it for this one. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Make sure you guys leave a like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, all that fun YouTube stuff, and we'll catch you guys next time. Bye!